The City of Tshwane Clean Development Mechanism Desk has pioneered the programmatic methodology to manage projects in each of the 7 sectors encompassing the City of Tshwane. The objective is to ensure an integrated approach to adaptation and mitigation to the ravages of climate change. The city's vision of leading green innovation is thus realized in a unique and integrated fashion. This is something I remember well, from the time I was a little girl, a time of harmony with nature. I recall a time when we lived as one with the earth and the animals around us. A time where we respected the earth for the bounty she provided us and the safety and comfort we enjoyed due to the natural beauty and bounty provided to South Africa and the City of Tshwane by Mother Nature. Despite conquering so much in this country, it scares me to see how we have come to disrespect our environment, and in doing so, our communities and our future. If only we could all take the time to green our homes and cities, the world would be a better place for our children. It makes me feel good to know that the City of Tshwane has planted over 6,500 trees in Olivenhoutbosch and 80 fruit trees in Mamelodi. Now we can harvest our own fruit instead of buying fruit that has become so expensive. To ensure that our indigenous plants survive, the city has embarked on a number of projects to remove alien plants and trees. This will assist in fostering a more robust indigenous plant and tree life in our city, while saving our scarce water resources. But it scares me to think that perhaps we have started to realize the damage we caused to our environment too late. But thanks to the efforts of the city and the communities, there is hope. What is this world coming to when people cannot take the time to throw waste into a waste basket? And I'm sure that if we don't all play a role in managing the waste in the city, our future looks very bleak. Thank goodness that the city is supporting community members to get involved in the green revolution within the City of Tshwane. Maybe one day my children can swim in the rivers of Tshwane again, without fear of infection or injury from waste products dumped into our rivers. Oh no, load shedding again. If only we would all be more responsible in our use of energy. I wonder if I switched my lights off at home. With such bright and beautiful light in this part of the world, why do we need to use lights during the day? Or continue to dump our waste into our rivers? When will we learn? If we do not manage our resources, the future is not one in which I wish to live in. With the amount of sun we have in Tshwane, I am glad to see the number of solar energy projects that the city has completed. I remember the days when the water from the tap tasted as good as any bottled water. But not anymore. If people continue to disrespect our limited water supply, the future for us is bleak. Tshwane is situated within a water-scarce country. The high levels of pollution, when coupled with poor behavior choices around being environmentally aware at all times, will lead to a situation where water becomes as precious and expensive as oil. I dread to imagine a future where waste is not managed by all those who generate it. The role of the community is ensuring a green city is critical. Not only does the green revolution afford the opportunity for job creation, but it drives environmental responsibility from each and every citizen of this City of Tshwane. But the future belongs to the children of today.
How I love the feeling of soil in my hands. This is something I want to make a career of. But where does one start? But I need to learn more to make sure my future and that of my children will be hunger and poverty-free.
Organic production and agroecological practices are recognized as a farming system that functions only with natural products. Organic farming is regarded as a production system that takes a holistic approach to production and considers the entire farm or production system as an ecological unit. Organic agriculture relies on local renewable resources. It is a system that makes efficient use of renewable energy and the production potential of biological systems by enhancing and maintaining the fertility of the soil, maximizes recirculation of plant nutrients and organic matter, whilst maintaining the diversity in the production system as well as the agricultural landscape. Organic agriculture gives farm animals life conditions that correspond to their ecological role and allow them natural behavior.
But there is so much waste all over. The land is being swamped by litter and waste.
Waste is a broad term created by a consumerist society to define goods that are disposed of after use. Waste is directly linked to human development, both technologically and socially. There's no waste in nature as everything is biodegradable and integrated into the cycle of life. Waste is therefore a subjective concept and has emerged since the Industrial Revolution, most particularly from the substances derived from the extraction of fossil fuels and their beneficiation into various products. In the context of the municipality, waste is considered to be all waste which is disposed of by citizens, resident companies, or public service entities. Waste management is the duty and responsibility of the municipality. The city has plans in place to develop an electricity generation capacity of 780 megawatts, an increase from 30 megawatts currently being produced.
With all this load shedding, maybe generating energy and selling it could be an interesting business opportunity.
Energy is critical to virtually every aspect of economic and social development in South Africa. Depending on the way it is produced, transported, and used, however, it can contribute to both local environmental degradation, such as air pollution, and to global environmental problems, principally climate change. The generation of capacity to meet the demand of an ever-growing city implies that the city has had to think of new and innovative means of achieving these goals.
It is said that water can be without the company of humans, but we as humans can only be without water for a few days.
In our Western civilization, based on outright economic growth, we as individuals use water as if we had limitless amounts of it. It might seem true for the time being, but in densely populated areas, drinking water has become a scarcity for which we pay dearly. Only 2 to 3% of the planet's water is fresh. The majority of this fraction exists as ice at the poles or is inaccessible for other reasons. Only 0.2% of the planet's water is potable. The introduction of alien plant life to the city has had a negative impact on our scarce water resources. The initiatives of the city to remove alien plants will once again afford the earth the opportunity to enjoy the rewards of plants and trees that are indigenous to the soil. The benefits to our water supply will be managed more effectively.
This is for you, Ma. I know how you love fruit, and now you can have a mango tree in your backyard.
Thank you, my son. You will save an old lady a lot of money because fruit has become too expensive.
And that's the tree that your great-grandchildren will eat from.
Let me share with you, my son. The city has plans to manage its scarce water resources much more effectively through the integration of the sector with other sectors within the city. The City of Tshwane is focusing much of its efforts into the adaptation of 4 critical sectors that will drive the green revolution. Currently, the city has a power generation capacity of 30 megawatts. This makes use of low CV coal from old power stations, with the resultant outcomes being high levels of greenhouse gases and a mere 30 megawatts of energy generation at a significant cost per megawatt hour. Our water adaptation program have thus far been processing sewage with the resultant environmentally harmful outputs being poor water quality and an overcapacity at sewage farms. Our waste program currently comprises inputs from household organic waste that result in high levels of leachate, methane, and overcapacitated landfills. The construction of the new 780 megawatt power plant will begin a process of transforming the green landscape of Tshwane. A shift from low CV coal input to coal waste, biomass and mineral waste inputs will ensure that the generation capacity of the city will be increased to 780 megawatt as a base load supply. This in turn will generate up to 60% lower greenhouse gas emissions. The ash byproduct will be adapted for use in construction materials such as cement and to resurface roads, while the nitrous oxides will be fed through water pools, realizing nitrates to be used in fertilizers. The methodology embraced within the city will ensure that linkages between sectors are integrated so as to ensure the optimization with minimal negative environmental impact. The agroecology sector will further benefit from the supply of grey water to the sector for the purposes of irrigation. The wastewater management program will process sewage with the resultant outputs of phosphates and grey water supplied to the agroecology sector. To further enhance the generation capacity of the city, the waste management sector will ensure that current overcapacitated landfill sites are harnessed to produce landfill gases and energy for use in large industry. This methodology of ensuring adaptation to climate change and the resultant environmental impact is what makes the City of Tshwane's clean development mechanism approach unique. The CDM desk of the City of Tshwane aims to ensure that all 7 sectors within the city are able to cross-beneficiate so as to optimize the economic, social, and environmental development, whilst reducing significantly the carbon footprint of the city.
Thank you for taking the time to share in our vision for the City of Tshwane. In the years to come, the City of Tshwane intends to enhance its credentials as a metro leading green innovation. The city stands poised with your support to lead the green revolution by providing inspiration to the citizens of Tshwane, South Africa, and globally. The city has committed in excess of 4.3 billion rands across the eco-construction, transport, and infrastructure sectors, in addition to the 4 sectors we have been introduced to in this presentation. Placing adaptation ahead of mitigation ideally positions the city to explore new ideas and innovations in the greening of the city and responsible behavior of all citizens, be they government, individuals, or corporate. As mayor, I intend to leave a legacy to the future that is free of devastation of our limited resources and one that goes back to the balance of respect between earth and her inhabitants. Re a leboga bokamoso bo boswa.